township zoning laws. And we are looking to approve putting a new sign at the township hall. We also want to consider performing a feasibility study on a potential recreation or community center. And finally, approval of an engineering company to provide engineering for the Iron Bell Trail through Van Buren Park. That is all I have on the executive summary. It's a long summary, I'm sorry. The next item is adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Adopt the agenda.
Trustee Miller and Trustee Frazier. Hearing no comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Who would like to make a motion and read?
I'll do it.
Trustee White. Read your motion, please.
Motion for the adoption of the consent agenda. The item number 1 is a special minute meetings of August 5th, 2019. Consent agenda item 2 is the budget preparation meeting, minute meetings of August 5th, 2019. Consent agenda number 3 would be the budget preparation meeting minutes of August 6th, 2019. Consent agenda item number 4 will be the prepaid list of August 8th, 2019. Agenda item number 5 will be the prepaid list of August 15th, 2019. Number 6 will be the voucher list of August 20, 2019. Number 7 will be approval of Resolution 2000-18, approving and authorizing execution of the 34th District Court Funding Unit Agreement. Item number 8 will be approval of the combination of lots 83-011-01-0047-000 and lot number 83-011-01-0048-000 under the Seymour and Trester's Motor City Acres subdivision. Consent agenda item number 9 is approval of Resolution 2019-14, the 2019 tax rate request. Item number 10, approval of the reappointment of Gerald McKelvey to the Water and Sewer Commission with a term to expire on June 1st, 2021. And also, there are openings currently on the Water and Sewer Commission if anyone would like to apply. Consent agenda items number 11, approval of Resolution 2019-17, the interlocal agreement between the Wayne County Airport Authority and the Charter Township of Van Buren. Consent agenda item number 12, approval of the 2020 Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transportation, otherwise known as SMART contract. Item number 13, approval of Resolution 2019-15, Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund Development Project Agreement. And item number 14, consent item number 14, approval of the intergovernmental agreement with Wayne County and Van Buren Township for French Landing Park improvements.
Support.
All right, I've got Trustee White, support by Trustee Miller. Hearing no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item. Public hearing, we have none. Next item is correspondence, announcements, and presentations. We're going to begin with Lisa Lothinger, our Deputy Director for our DDA. I don't know if this is going to help at all.
Good evening, Board. I just want to remind you all that we are having our grand opening for the splash pad this Friday. We are in the home stretch, and we will celebrate it Friday on 5 o'clock. We'll start with the unveiling of the Egypt Covington Memorial, and then we'll move over to the splash pad for a ceremonial ribbon cutting. Once the ribbon is cut and the dignitaries have all moved out of the space, then we'll go ahead and get the water running for the kids. At 5:30, we're going to have the concession stand open, and we're giving free hot dogs, chips, water, lemonade, slushies, and cookies, and that will be available until it runs out. And Culver's is also coming. They're going to do an ice cream truck, and they're bringing cones with a cop.
Great.
So thank you.
Thank you. You've done a great job, by the way. Okay, I guess we can start. Trustee Frazier, you want to start?
Well, I think you already covered it in the fact that
Which one?
we're approving the SMART contract.
But you wanted to tell people what it was about.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, we get money from SMART to offset the cost for our summer camp program, and we get funding that goes to the senior department to provide transportation services to Van Buren seniors or residents who are either disabled or need rides to their medical appointments or shopping. And if you're interested in getting more details on this, you can call the senior department and ask for transportation. The number is 734-699-8919. You can look that up also on our webpage. So it's a good thing, it's a good service to offer our residents, and SMART has made available a brand-new mini bus that has wheelchair accessibility for 2 wheelchairs, and we're very grateful for the partnership we have with SMART.
Trustee Miller?
Van Buren Township would like to announce an opioid awareness forum and Narcan training. This will be held September 12th. Check-ins 5:30. Presentation starts at 6, and it will be followed with the actual Narcan training at that time. This will be held at Wayne County Community College District at 9555 Haggerty Road. Moderators are myself and Chief Amy Brow. Speakers are Public Safety Director Greg Lorraine, Van Buren Township Officer Ryan McCormick, Patrick Stropes with Growth Works, U.S. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, and Darlene Owens, who is with the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority, Director on Substance Abuse.
We can get done here. Trustee White?
Every year, we have a German volunteer to come across the waters and help our senior citizens. This has been a program that's been very successful over the years. This year, our volunteer, Lucas Damon, finished up his last day at the September Day Senior Center this past week. We wish Lucas success and thank him for his dedication and hard work. He will be missed by everyone in Van Buren Township Hall, and especially the seniors. The senior centers would also like to announce that dealing with construction and ongoing renovations, the senior center is still open to the public. Stop by today. It's open. Everything is going on. So please enjoy yourself by visiting our senior center.
Thank you. Trustee Martin?
Mark your calendars for Saturday, September 14th, will be the annual Van Buren Township Family Fun and Public Safety Day. Join us for fun, family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Menards parking lot.
Clerk Wright?
The Township Administrative offices will be closed Monday, September 2nd, in observance of the Labor Day holiday.
Oh,
What everybody want to hear.
That's it, okay. All right, that's it. Anybody from the public wishing to speak? No? Okay. We're moving down to unfinished business, which we have none. We're into new business. The first item is to consider approval of Resolution 2019-16, which is Post-Employment Medical Expense Reimbursement Plan with Burnham and Flowers Group. Can I get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of Resolution 2019-16 Post-Employment Medical Expense Reimbursement Plan with Burnham and Flower Group.
Treasurer Bud. Okay, Director Sumter, could you take over?
Good evening, Board of Trustees. We will soon embark on a mature workforce and understand that many are delaying retirement due to healthcare costs. The township is looking into ways to address the overall retirement planning for future employees, as many communities have already moved to similar plans or even eliminated retiree healthcare altogether. On August 5th, 2019, a meeting was held with all of our union presidents and vice presidents for a discussion on securing their retiree health care. Supervisor McNamara, Treasurer Bud, and Clerk Wright discussed this with the Board of Trustees and all the salaried employees during the budget hearings that day as well. All new hires effective September 1st, 2019 will receive a health care savings plan contribution from the township, which eliminates the cost of health care benefits post-retirement. Our attorney and union representatives are working together to secure this language. Burnham and Flowers offers an easy solution that allows tax-free savings for the cost of medical insurance during retirement with convenient reimbursement options to the employee as well as to their beneficiaries. The plan also will address the freedom to gain diverse experience without duration from the younger demographics. The funds are portable, however, can only be used for healthcare cost expenses. I am asking the board today to approve Resolution 2019-16, execute signatures for Article 7 of Section 115, which is our trust agreement and adoption agreement at August 20th, 2019 board meeting, which is tonight. And with that, I'll answer any questions the board may have at this time.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start off with trustee Frazier. Actually, trustee Miller, did you want, you go first because you made the motion, then we'll go Frazier.
This is a wonderful thing that the township is moving forward on. The cost for healthcare after you leave the township for retirement is so exorbitant that we're still underfunding it. But this will help alleviate this. My only concern was that I was hoping that employees would be able to contribute to this. Have we looked into that? Do we have an answer yet for that?
I haven't answered yet, but the
Okay.
board, well, the 3 full-time officials are still looking into options at this time. Nothing is in stone yet, but we will be working with Burnham and Flowers to get the language put together for the employees. So that is an option that is still on the table at this time.
And there's no additional cost for that option, correct?
No,
And
still
what
the
that will
same.
do is, well, it creates a bigger pot, a bigger investment. So
Correct.
it'll grow even faster. So maybe the supervisor can answer this question. What is the yearly savings from going from what we have that's underfunded to what we're moving to this? How much are we saving per year?
I'm not an actuarial, but
Approximate.
I'd be guessing $5,000 to $10,000 a year savings per employee,
Per employee. And, all right. And how
But
many
I'm winging that,
employees?
yeah.
I gotta ask.
Yeah. What?
Approximately, and I'm sure you,
We have 100 full-time.
111 active employees right now. But going forward, this plan will be for all the new hires. So currently, we're looking at hiring a total of 8 employees coming up soon. So
Yeah, so we're still paying that on those 111, but,
right.
yeah. But we're not, the number's not getting bigger.
this will stop the bleeding, per se, as far as our OPEB liability.
And this will still attract new candidates who are applying and maybe want to work for the township.
Correct. It gives them, like I said, it gives them the freedom without having to be here long-term, which is what they want these days anyway. They want to be able to control their own savings, control their own retirement the way they want to do it, and not the traditional way as we're used to now.
All right.
She made the second, so I've got to go. You all
done.
set?
I'm all set.
Okay, Bud and then Frazier.
Just to say, it is going to alleviate or help alleviate the OPEB obligation that keeps growing as we hire new employees, so that will tone that down, and then it will guarantee funds for the employees that we do have on board.
Correct.
I think it also answers the needs of new employees because there will be money put away that they will be able to use if and when they do retire, because as long as they're an active employee, they will be covered like every other employee. But when they retire, their funds have been put yearly into this savings account, which they can then use for whatever medical issues they might need it for.
Correct.
Trustee Frazier.
So they can buy their own policy. Let's say if they retire at 58, the money they have accumulated,
Yes.
they could buy their own health coverage. It's up to
Correct.
them.
It is up to them, and I can tell you from personal experience of having a healthcare savings plan from another municipality, as soon as I left there, my funds were available, but I could only use it for healthcare expenses. And at that time, I was paying for my own plan through Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well, we know that healthcare continues to be a big expense on every citizen's budget, and I think it's something that we had to do. It's not something that, but because of the cost of healthcare and providing after they retire, it's expensive. And people are living longer than they ever have. in today's society because we have so many remarkable drugs and, things that happen in the medical field. So I think it's a good thing, and I'm glad to see that they can use any money at any time, right? They don't have
As
to
long
be
as they're
retired.
separated from here. No, they can't touch it while they're still working. As long as they're active, the money still accumulates with each contribution the township makes. They can only use it once they separate from the township.
Okay, but they have access to it, so it's an important, I think we've made a big step forward for the
I agree.
township and for our employees.
I agree.
Clerk Wright?
Well, I'd like to say shortly, it's something we've been working on for a while. We've been thinking about how to, I know since I've been clerk, we've been thinking about how to alleviate this issue without diminishing health care, but pretty much just without diminishing post-employment health care, there really is nothing you can do because the treasurer looks at every active employee as though they are going to retire, whether they retire from here or not, and they use that number to put on our balance sheets and to show our OPEB. This came about, I don't know, when was that, 2012, when they really got serious with that, Treasurer Bud? When did they start having us report it before it came? It's like 2012, I believe it was. Somewhere 2011, 2012, we started reporting it on our, as an obligation, but we didn't have to report it on our balance sheet. Soon after then, with the audit, we had to report it on our balance sheet, and that's when it becomes a big number, $20 million or so, or whatever. But even if an employee don't retire, we still assume that every employee we have here is probably not going to retire from here. But the Treasury Department looks at it like as they will. But as we are saying, everyone is saying, going forward, that would drop our obligation going forward tremendously because the savings won't be shown until they start putting that number together, in which after September the 1st, instead of this employee being the number shown as a lifetime benefit, which I don't know if whatever they look at 20, 25 years at $20,000 a person, that's a significant number. You ask, what is that? That's a big number. We don't know. It depends on the policy, depending on whether it's a family or, two-person, single, whatever. But it's a big number regardless when you're looking at it like that. But after going forward, that would drop off for every employee coming in, and that's a big savings. And we have this current board has put a plan together to address our post-employment obligation, which is great. But this is significant, so you're gonna see a significant number. We got a letter of approval from the state. Going forward, it's just that much better. It shows that we are working and we are doing our due diligence, in which everyone asks us to do.
Anybody else? Okay, I have a motion by trustee, Mr. White.
As you all know, I had a lot of questions about this yesterday at the work study. The packet that we received was huge, really huge, and I didn't have time to go through every single item on that packet like I normally do because there was just too much reading to do in the 2 days' time that I had for that. So I did raise a issue yesterday about what the HSA would pay for and everything, and I did not get a good answer at that time. So as I read the packet this morning, I actually went through and read it about 3 times, and there was a number in there for me to call for information. So I called that number and talked to the lady, to the person, and she went over several items with me, and she alleviated any fears that I had about what this would cost the township and how it could be applied. The question I had was very much involved with medical premiums, and with this HSA health savings account, it can be used to purchase any type of medical insurance that the employee desires or the retired employee desires. This won't benefit us too much in the near future, but it will greatly benefit the township residents several years out when we start having more of our employees to retire and we can hire new employees. And it really won't be that beneficial until those employees retire. As we all know, we're in deep debt on the OPEB, the other post-employment benefits, and we need to alleviate that. And this healthcare savings account will go a long way towards alleviating that, but it won't show up for many, many years. And I am for it now, and I will vote yes on this because I think it's a good deal, although initially it will cost us a little more money because we have to invest the money into that account. But as the years go along and we have employees to retire and we replace them with the new employees, and when the new employees retire, then it'll be greatly beneficial to the township. So this will happen, but it's going to be quite a ways down the road.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, I have a motion by trustee Miller, support by treasurer Bud. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. September 1st happens.
Thank you, board.
Okay.
The chair. I'd just like to thank the Human Resource Director, Director Sumter, for the hard work on getting this material together and making these contacts, and for the 3 full-time
Thank you.
people who worked on this, because it does take a lot of effort and a lot of time to get these things together and to make a major change as we've made.
Yeah,
It is major.
I agree. I forgot to thank you too. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
I know it was hard work trying to. It's hard work trying to coordinate. It's hard. You're right. It's hard work trying to coordinate our schedules, not only all the unions' schedules at the same time. So
I think the smartest thing
Kudos
I
to
ever
getting them
did was
together.
admit I didn't know anything about HR and said I need an HR director. Because we've saved a lot of money in that area. Well, yeah. All right, next item. To consider approval of the first reading of ordinance 08-2019 to include new provisions for senior housing in the township zoning ordinance and correct other sections of the ordinance for the consistencies.
Through the chair.
Trustee Martin.
Approve the first reading of ordinance 08-20-19 to include new provisions for senior housing in the township zoning ordinance and correct other sections of the ordinance for consistency.
support.
Treasurer Bud. Okay. Director, this is basically, go ahead.
One of the largest population changes in our community is that the senior population is increasing, over 65 is increasing. Recognizing that, the Planning Commission has looked to change the zoning ordinance and is proposing a change in the zoning ordinance to allow more senior housing in our community, which will be in different areas in our zoning districts. As we discussed yesterday, the zoning ordinance has been, the Planning Commission has approved a change in the zoning ordinance that would allow senior housing in not only the multifamily district, where apartments are currently allowed as a special land use, but in mobile home park districts, local business districts, highway business districts, and mixed-use districts, which is consistent with what other communities have done and consistent with what we have heard that developers and the people in this community are looking for out of senior housing. So today, in front of you is the first reading of the changes that were proposed by the Planning Commission to allow senior housing more readily available in our zoning ordinance. I'm here to answer any questions you may have on this.
Trustee, one second, Trustee Martin, do you want to begin the questions?
I just have a comment saying that this is a move in the right direction to address the senior housing. And I think I read that a bigger population is over the age of 60 now, and they're going to move out of their homes and try to find affordable housing. So I think this is a step in the right direction.
Okay, Treasurer Bud and then Frazier.
Just to say that we worked on this at the Planning Commission level, and the concern of all the commission was the fact that we needed to look at ordinances that would make senior housing more easily for the developers, but would also keep it in what the township was looking for to take care of the senior for the housing.
Trustee Frazier.
I've been a proponent of this since the beginning because of our older residents. We need to address the need that they have for housing. And many of them are giving up their homes and looking for different places to live. I know that I've heard from many residents that they've had to look to Canton or surrounding communities because we don't have the affordable senior housing that they need. So I'm a proponent of having low-cost, federally funded senior housing, medium-priced, and upper-end housing. I think we need to address all ranges because we have a variety of income levels in our community. And I went to a public hearing on the senior housing when the Planning Commission had it, and I was encouraged on their thoughts on it and how they were interested in making the changes to the zoning. And I appreciate their efforts.
Okay. I'm sorry, does anybody else want to speak on it? No? Okay, we've got a motion by trustee Martin and supported by treasurer Bud regarding a first reading, which is a voice vote, changing the zoning ordinance to allow more senior housing. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We'll take it forward to a second reading next meeting. Next item, number 3, to consider approval of the selection of Varies Environmental Graphics and Signs, otherwise known as Vegas, for the design and installation of the electronic message sign to be put in the front of the Township Hall for the base bid price of $29,995.
I make a motion that we approve the addition and the base price for a new electronic sign in front of the Township Hall in the amount of 29, what was
It's a
it?
base price of
Base
29,995.
price of 29,995.
Support.
Miller? Director, could you tell us about it?
Yes, one of the main goals of government is to get our message across to our residents of what we are doing and where we are going. This is a step in that direction. We are putting together we have put together a bid package to create a electronic message sign that will go out in front, and it's part of our renovation of the CIP Plus projects. This shouldn't be a surprise. We've talked about this for about a year and a half. The electronic message signs will go at our entrance, and we'll announce all our activities and any other information that the board and elected officials in the township needs to have conveyed. We put together a bid package for a base sign, which you have in your packet, the base sign, which is very similar to what is being done at the placemaking. And